to Gerald Hall, let the records reflect. And I quote, I am sending a copy of this email to Gerald Hall, who will be the interim for next week. Thanks again, Todd Hunter. Chief Pearson was named interim on Monday, February the 14th, 2011. Let the dates reflect. February the 13th, February the 14th. Let the dates reflect. He was voted in unanimously, voted for the entire city of Jasper. He was voted unanimously as by our city council at that time, which was Joe Clyde Adams, representing District 1, Randy Sayers, representing District 2, Tommy Adams, representing District 3, Willie Land, representing District 4, and myself, Terry Norsworthy at large, representing District 5. Chief Pearson is more than qualified to serve as the chief of this. Chief Pearson is more than qualified to serve as chief of police for Jasper. In fact, he was the best person for the job. Chief Pearson has a long career in law enforcement. Chief Pearson served over 20 years as an officer with the Texas Department of Public Safety. During that time, Chief Pearson received numerous accommodations and was promoted many times. Chief Pearson completed over 3,000 hours of special law enforcement training. The recall scoring system was never approved or adopted or voted on by the City Council and has never been used before to select a chief here in the city of Jasper. Never been used before. Never. This was created by Joe Whitener and the mayor, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Tommy Barkin has something to do with that as well. But Joe Whitener is HR for Jasper. The council has made numerous decisions before hiring Chief Pearson, and our integrity and competency was never questioned. But as soon as we fail to make a decision that would impact the city of Jasper in a positive way, we get repercussion. Repercussion, another thing, because of the African-American, Negro, black individual that we voted for to be chief of police at that time. Yes, I said it, and let the records reflect. Let the records reflect. As we have been said earlier in here, if there's any outbursts that I am Mayor Pro Tem, you will be exited out of the door.
Can we please keep order?
Petition to recall or remove me, Terry Norsworthy. Misconduct. You right. Misconduct for voting right. Misconduct for voting right. That's what misconduct. Malfeasance for voting right. For looking over all of the applicants and choosing the best applicant. Yeah. Malfeasance for voting right. Incompetent for voting right. For voting right. Incompetent for voting right. 560 signatures are on here to recall myself, Terry Norsworthy, for doing the right thing. That's enough for me. I relinquish remaining of my 25 minutes that's on here, attorney, to Reverend Harden. I relinquish remaining of my 25 minutes to Reverend Harden.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank our councilman, and thank our mayor, and thank brother who is serving as our city attorney. I'm Reverend Harden of the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, and I've come to do my best to show that somebody sure done messed up. According to the recall petition, they have been charged with 3 offenses, which are also listed in the city charter, that states what the conditions are for the recall. Now, in recent history, the city of Jasper endured a terrible hate crime. Now, you just might want to get it all together. And it looked like it happened in Jasper about every 10 years, or 9 years, or 7. And it looks bad, all of us, for this kind of stuff to come up. You know, I told my church, if you keep messing up, you pretty soon will be messy. And this is unnecessary all the way. It's hate crime by whites. We got friends against friends. Some of them sitting on the council were the best friends of some people in here. And we have come and we are mad at each other and arguing with each other and talking about it. And they tell me my phone's been tapped. For what? I ain't gonna say no more than I want to say it, and I can say what I say on the phone. Well, in most cases, I can say it wherever I want to say it. That's what they say, and I'm thinking about asking the government to check. And I want to sue that individual so I have some money to retire. Our city stood tall when it came down to Jamesburg. Bobby Hudson was the president of the Ministers Alliance, and he did an outstanding job of bringing us together. There wasn't any arguments, there wasn't any fight. Everybody came here, the FBI came here. The only thing that got me when all those big time radio stations came here, I don't think we charged them for the use of electricity. And we should send them a bill sooner or later and tell them they ought to pay for the use of our electricity. But they came here. The Ku Klux Klans came, and we don't need them here, and the Black Panthers came, and you remember now, if you say I said the Ku Klux Klan, I did. But I'm saying the Black Panthers came here and marched in front of Greater New Bethel, and they had all kind of weapons with them. Now, they want to fight, but I want peace. And y'all are not trying to help it if you keep fighting this little old fight that we got. Simply because you've got a chief, and Terry said that he's black, and I don't know what other color he is. And somebody's mad because he's chief, I found out. I've been passed over twice. First time they passed over me for principal in Marlin, and y'all tell Marlin, they'll be telling tonight, it's all right. And I didn't like it. I was well qualified, owed the bank plenty of money, and they wanted me to stay there. And the next time they called, they wanted me to be principal of Marlin High School, and I turned that down myself. But the first one I wanted. But if I had got it, they know themselves that I would have done my best. And you all have done your best. You have. When it came time for Terry and them, and you all to get a, what was that thing they bought, that big, what had that, what'd you call that, on the front of it?
Garbage truck.
Y'all were together. When it came time to spend $200,000 of the city's money, they were together. And they spent some more money. I think $100,000 for a street sweeper. They were together. And now they come up and stand up for what they think is right. And y'all hollering, and the city's hollering. Y'all to be ashamed of yourselves. You know, it's tired of it. Every time we look around, something happening in Jasper. I went to Kentucky and stopped in Kentucky. We was on our way to the National Congress, and I got in line, and we were ready to eat, everybody. And the man asked me, he said, "Where are you all from?" I said, "Lord have mercy." I said, "We're from Jasper." He said, "Oh." That's all they have to say. Because he knew what had happened in Jasper in the case of Jamesburg. Why? Why take a man's life that was innocent as a squirrel? Meter and others are coming in here trying to discuss and trying to tear up our little city, and it shouldn't be. We ought to make sure that we work together. There ain't nothing wrong with sticking together. I know that Terry going to speak of peace. If she go to heaven, she going to tell Peter what she think. And you ought to too. I can't deal with a coward, and you shouldn't either. For almost 7 years or more, Jasper has had a majority American council. Afro-Americans council. They have voted on multiple occasions and they passed on a variety of issues affecting our city. Hiring a city manager, posting the jobs, and everything which should be in order. And voting on the annual budget of the city and many more items that these three council members have participated on their behalf as citizens of Jasper. I hope you can see what they want to do. I can see that. I ain't no dummy neither. But I can see this. They want to get rid of you all, and then they're going to turn the apple cart over. Can't you see that? I can see it. And it shouldn't be. What's done should be stay right here. You don't have to go on Facebook. What's that other thing that they put on? You don't have to go on all that. You don't have to do that. You got our name all over the world. You even got me looking at Facebook, and I didn't even know what it was. All these actions by these 3 members of the city council, there has not been one citizen of this community has ever charged these individuals with incompetence. Not at all. You know, it looked like you ought to have, and they went on Facebook, they got me reading it, and it's a shame of some of the things that have been. Now, I can't say that big word, malfeasance, or misconduct prior to the selection of the police chief, only when they exercise their rights under the city charter. They ain't doing nothing undercover. This was all done wide open. And now everybody's mad at each other. Don't do that. I love Jasper. Jasper's been good to me. And they've been good to some of you all too. I know it has. These charges are unfounded and untrue. It has hurt our city. And will it further divide our community if we don't get back together? We did it in Jamesburg. We can do it now. If we all want to come together and forget this. Paul said, forget those things that are behind. Come on, preachers, and press forward to the mark of high calling. Thank you. I ain't through yet. When I think, I would want to be said that it fell on my watch. I try to do all I can for Mount Olive. That's my watch. And if I don't want to leave Mount Olive better, and my father-in-law pastored Mount Olive, and I want to leave Mount Olive better every way that I can, and you all are going in the wrong way by trying to divide the city. That's what you're doing. And when I think about it, and I've called most of these wives and parents and children, I'm thinking about those who gave their heart for Jasper. They gave their heart to bring Jasper to the top. When I came to Jasper 36 years ago, anybody that wanted a job could get a job. But now we are fighting so much, we don't even have time to work with the Chamber of Commerce to try to bring in some factory or something else. They won't get a committee together. You can get a committee to fuss and argue. Why don't you get a committee to try to bring some jobs here? I'm going to serve on it too, and I'll pay my own way if Sister Harden says so, to go where he goes. When you look at it, Mr. Walter Cow helped all that he could, employed individuals to better our city. Mr. Carl Bledsoe did all that he could. Brother Neil might have loaned you some money, but he might charge you an interest, but he let you have the money. I know I'm right. And Dr. Thomas did the same thing. Mr. P.E. Lindsay worked his heart out for the city of Jasper. And y'all gonna let it tear up? I wouldn't want it on my watch. Not at all. Mr. Jack Martindale, Mr. N.T. Schofield, Mr. Poole, the Fuse, my father-in-law, Reverend N.P. Johnson, did all that he could. He kept some of your children out of jail. Because at that time, Sheriff Nichols, we could sign it, just sign it off because of his reputation, because of his character. You ain't got no character being tearing up here. You got somebody that's working for your city.